All right guys, if you want to be towing a trailer with your Ford Taurus, you're going to have wiring installed to make your trailer lights work. That is required by state law. The wiring is going to be installed in the trunk of this vehicle behind our plastic panels. So we'll have to take out our threshold and open these up to get to our wiring. So why don't we just jump right into it?
You will need the tools seen here to complete this installation.
All right, so our first step is to go ahead and remove this center trim panel. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to remove a clip down here and then one over here on this corner. All right, we're just gonna use our trim panel removal tool. We're gonna go ahead and pop this clip out of place. We're gonna move over to the other side. All right, now that we have our two clips removed, we're gonna go ahead and pull up our panel. We're gonna use our trim panel removal tool again, and we're just gonna pop this up. All right, now that we have this loose, we're gonna go ahead and set this aside over here. Our next step is we're gonna come over here to the driver's side. We're gonna go ahead and take these two fasteners out. They do screw out. This one seems to be loose already. This one is a little tight. So we're just gonna grab our pliers here and we're gonna go nice and gentle so we don't hurt it. And we're just gonna go ahead and give it a little turn to make it loose. We can go ahead and screw those out the rest of the way. We're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the passenger side. All right, now that we have all our clips out, we'll just set them aside. All right, so our next step is we're gonna go ahead and open up this panel. We're gonna use our trim panel removal tool again. We're just gonna open it up so we can get access to our wiring. All right, now that we went ahead and got our panel opened up, we can actually see that it doesn't come out very far. We are still being held up here by a 12-volt socket. Your vehicle may or may not have it, but we can clearly see that the connector that we need is right here on the end, so that's very helpful. We're just gonna go ahead and reach our hand in here and pull this connector out. Then we can go ahead and separate it and start hooking up our harness. All right, so here we have the harness for our Ford Taurus. We already showed you the connector that's in the panel, so we're gonna go ahead and run our yellow and brown wire to the left side, and then we're gonna go ahead and run our green wire all the way to the right side. So let's just get to do it. We'll go ahead and separate these connectors, and then we'll go ahead and connect once again our yellow and brown wire to the driver's side. We just want to make sure that our connectors line up and snap in fully. We'll go ahead and grab our bottom one here, and we'll do the same thing again. All right, now that we have our connectors connected, we can go ahead and push them back into place, and then we'll start running our wire to the passenger side. We're running our green wire over to the passenger side. We're gonna go ahead and open up our panel and find our harness. All right, if we can see in here, our connector is right here. We're gonna go ahead and pull that out so we can make our connection. Once again, you want to make sure your clips are fully seated. Go ahead and grab the other side and we'll make that connection as well. All right, now that we made our connections, we're just going to go ahead and tuck this back in the way, and then we're going to go ahead and start putting our panels back. All right, once we did that, the last thing that we want to do over here is we just want to make sure that this weather seal is sitting back on top of the panel like it was before. All right, now that we went ahead and got our panel in place, we're going to go ahead and reattach our cargo hooks. Alrighty, we got those attached. Once again, we're just going to go ahead and make sure that our weather seal here sits on top of our panel, just like it did before. All right, so before we go ahead and put our threshold back, we see we have lots of extra length here. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm just gonna kind of fold it over on itself, just like so. And we're just gonna grab a zip tie or two, and we're just gonna secure it all together. Once we do that, we're gonna go ahead and grab some tape, and we're gonna go ahead and tape it to the actual car before we put our threshold back. All right, now that we got our zip ties, we're just gonna cut off our ends here. Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and grab just some simple plain Scotch tape. That should work pretty well. Just grab a piece, and we're gonna go ahead and tape it out of the way. All right, now that we went ahead and cleaned up our green wire that ran across, what we're gonna go do now is we're gonna go ahead and hook up our ground wire. We're gonna be using a 1/4-inch bit with just a self-tapping screw. All right, now that we have our ground hooked up, we're gonna go ahead and put our threshold back. When you're putting your threshold back, just make sure that these cargo hooks just come out through the little access hole. Now that we have that all done, the last thing to do is go ahead and put in our 2 pop rivets that we took out earlier. All right, let's put our final piece into play. All right, we put our last clip in. The last thing to do is just make sure that our weather seal is gonna sit on top of our panel. All right, we're all set. Here's our 4 flat wiring. When you're ready to go ahead and tow, you're just gonna go ahead and pull it out like this. We can shut the rear door on it. I'm gonna show you that real quick. You can hook up your trailer now. And as you can see here, as long as you make sure it lays flat, there's no harm to our wire. When you're not using your wiring, it can go ahead and store down here in the trunk next to your spare tire, and then we can go ahead and put our floor covering back. All right, now that our wiring's all set, you are ready to go. You can go ahead and tow your trailer. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us. Enjoy this video. Have a good day.
To learn more about the products seen in this video, or to schedule an installation by U-Haul Hitch Professional, visit us online today at uhaulhitches.com.